Welcome to another installment of my contribution to the second annual Porsche group build hosted by Chuck's Hobby Spot, BG's Model Workshop, the Lucas C channel, Blue Ox Model Shop, and oh yeah, that podcast thing. If you are just joining in, I'm taking this Revell Porsche 914/6 and turning it into a terrifying wheel stander. Last time I cleared out a bunch of space in the back so the giant supercharged Hemi would sort of fit. I think I need to move on to the interior and get that somewhat under control so it could start to do wheel stander type things.
So there's this main piece right here, and part of the 2-in-1 options is it has a racing seat. And so in order to make it stock, they did something kind of lame, I think. They put a stock seat here, but they also molded this seat in. And while it has a separate headrest, they just aren't going to look the same. So I do like this seat. It's certainly racy looking and fits. And I have this seat. So maybe I figure out a way to put this seat here, and then that allows me to paint both seats, but you know, it's gonna require a bunch of cutting, and probably, I don't know, I think we're gonna have to do this, and it's gonna have to be rebuilt back here to kind of make all of this sort of the same, because you kind of see all of this in the back where the engine goes. So yeah, I guess it's time to kind of take out the saw and cut that out and see what happens. So this is tougher than I thought. Okay, now it has a hole. What are we going to do about it? Well, this piece kind of sets into this piece, the chassis. It has locating pins somewhere. There it goes, snap. Kind of see that? And so now you don't really see the giant gaping hole all that much. Not even really back there. So when you have the stock driver's seat, now kind of fits there. And even though, you know, I didn't do anything about that, but you don't really see it. So that's just going to be our little secret. And then you get Mr. Race seat for the pilot of the craft. And now that kind of makes things easier. So it has this boomerang looking piece. I think the instructions say for the pedal assembly to go there, which is approved. It has a little hole that it goes to, that how this probably wind up filling that. I don't know if that piece is going to actually be permanently attached before or after painting. Kind of just figuring that out. And in the previous video, we had already separated the top of the dash from the body. I've gotten the other piece of the dash, and those fit together not very well, but that's okay. I think I'm going to leave these separate so I could possibly make painting cooler. We'll just put those over there. We have the door panels or door cards or whatever you want to call them, depending on your locale. I don't really know what they were thinking with this engraving texture on it. Maybe that's wood, maybe it's straw. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to zip off the armrests, and probably those will get X-nayed, and maybe some kind of new door panel kind of applique, and then put these on. Same with the driver's side. I find it unique that they're different. I guess that's how they are on the real car. I guess I'll go to Bring Your Trailer and look. So those are those. And put those right there. And then there's a very important piece for the interior that, yeah, in order for it to do what it needs to do, we're going to have this guy. And he is a Fujimi figure that I pulled out some pieces, and as you can see, he's kind of had a little amputation going on. We haven't, we'll have to put some feet back on, and he's missing some limbs, but that's okay. We'll find those. But we just kind of need to see if he fits in there at this point in time. Start sizing up, you know, the controls. So that's sort of where we're at with this piece. And these kind of go in here like so. No. Yeah. They fit, I bet. No. Okay. We'll figure this out later. So all this interior work, it needed to get moving along because the next step involves this. This is plastic tubing. I believe it is 3/32 tube. And what I use it for is, yeah, this thing needs some marginal safety equipment, so we're gonna have to make a roll cage. And so I start with this, and then I have this beading wire that I just simply put inside here, like so. And so that allows me to bend this, and it doesn't kink. And so then I wind up with a piece that looks like this. And it is mainly bent to fit inside somewhere around there. We haven't decided exactly where it goes, but this is the start. This is actually probably one of the harder parts of a roll cage to make. And is it square? Mostly. We try. And it's just, you know, trial and error. Don't be afraid if it doesn't fit to toss it and make another one. I mean, yeah, this plastic is not as cheap as it used to be, but it's still somewhat cheap, and it's, you know, the more roll cages you make, the better you'll get at doing it. So this one clearly is just a little bit too tall, but I'd rather them be too tall than too short, because then you're definitely making another one. So we'll start measuring how far to nip these pieces off, and I don't know, I might even use those, and you know, we'll have to then come up with where that piece is going to go, and then we'll be off to the races. It is always easy to cut less and leave a little bit more and cut again than cut too much. make it fit. Yeah. Yes. We're going to get some holes drilled here and make this just right.
I still got a bunch of filing and sanding to do, but the main components of the interior are mostly accounted for. I still need to find some arms. They're around here somewhere. This looks like a good place to pause because I also need to find some important chassis things like axles and wheels. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.